All right, I am back. Summit coming up, a month away. That'll be a entertaining time. I'm still gonna try and get all of my like reviews done and all of that stuff. I'm just gonna do it from up there, so it'll be a little weird, but
From where?
Vancouver.
Oh,
Hey, Thor, I'm looking at your cams there on TOS. I don't know if anybody mentioned this already, but I have R3 at 313 cents, and it looks like you have it at 305. Like DOS and TOS are way off today.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I was just kind of looking at that myself.
I'm like, why does this even have a play? Because it's over R3. But then I looked at TOS, and I'm like, wait a minute.
so you need to be very careful. Sometimes DAS presents cams for Monday based on data from Sunday, which is not correct. So check and see if it's being generated from Sundays, which is just after hours trading.
How do I check that?
Because we have
you can do it just by math. You just look at the open, the close, the high, low, and close for Sunday, because most likely you need to use the cams that were generated from Friday's data in DAS. I run into that more often than not.
what he's saying in this instance, Mark, which I think is accurate, which is so there are certain days where the calculation that I'm using in TOS is a very specific calculation that does the time frames in a very specific way. And I don't know what causes this to happen, but there have been days with DOS where DOS, like, on futures, like Mark is saying, especially since futures transact over the weekend, DOS's Monday cams get all jacked because Sunday normally has a really tight, narrow range, and then it adds those in, so it kind of skews them a little bit, and TOS gets around that. But there are some days, like today, where on Ninja, my R4 is near ATR high at 312 on a wide range, right? And if you look at Tesla and DOS, it really looks kind of more like a tighter range. And the cams look like a tighter calculated range, and it's rejecting off of R4 in the higher range already. It already happened. That R4 was at 304, which is basically where our R3 is. So now, do I have an answer for why there's a variation there? Honestly, I don't. It's the way the two platforms, or it's the way DOS is handling its Fridays open, low, high, and close, and how it's adding that. And so I tend to lean towards my TOS ones, but you can see in the pre-market, DOS already wicked R4 beautifully, like 2 different times in the pre-market, right? So obviously it works.
Find out where the CP is today, and if it doesn't align with Friday's PDC, it's using Sunday's info.
My CP,
because CP is close.
I don't even have a
PDC
Sunday
is-
candlestick for Tesla.
PDC is 292.
You're looking at Tesla?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, it's not even open on Sunday. So I'm talking
Right.
about.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
confused.
Yeah. Okay.
292, 293.
It's like this on several ones. I think Google is similar
Mm-hmm.
and PLTR. So, like I still have plays for Google and
I don't know,
PLTR.
Leslie would probably, of all of us, would actually probably be the person who's the most likely would be the most likely able to understand or figure out why there's a variation between those two. And
Do they have different start and
it-
stop times? for the market?
there's something going on with the way they're handling their session hours in DOS or something. They do some really weird stuff in DOS, and we haven't been able to pin it down. This is one of the reasons, like, we've gone through Ninja and TOS, and we're constantly trying to figure out exactly how to get our cams to match up with DOS's, because my original system was based almost completely upon it. So, but I can say there have been many days where my cam calculations on TOS have actually been by far the most accurate. Right. The important thing to do, and just remember, is it's just all about performance, right? Performance is just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result. So your cam's going to work, my cam's going to work. Both of the calculations will work, right? And you just have to play them according to the system. So if you see it go up to, so if you're like getting like a narrow range on R4, you may actually play a breakout towards what your R6 will be. Right, and your R6 is going to be all the way up at 315, right? So, and that 315 happens to be where ATR high is, which is where my R4 is, right? So it'd be like an R6 rejection for you. For me, it would be an R4 reversal.
Right. So is your
Right.
is your R4 in DOS? Mine is 305.86.
I have two. One of them, my width out is 304.32. My width is 305.86, 87
Okay.
rounded.
Yeah,
86.
87. Yeah, that's what I have.
But I have no reason right now to say that the TOS ones work any better than the DOS ones. If anything, the DOS ones have been tried and true for a very long time. You know what I mean? So, like I said, the important thing is just to use the ones that you are using and use them consistently. It's as what they will all work out if you just focus. I actually had this happen where the other day, there were 4 different people who posted a trade on ES, and one of them used instrument settings, one of them used with, and one of them used, and 2 of them used without, and all 4 of them got trades that fit the system. One was like an R6 reversal, one was one of them was an R4, and one of them was an S3 buy, or something like that. And I was just like, no shit. I'm like, so this stuff really just kind of like works across the spectrum, right? It just kind of all lines up. The important part's the volume. You know what I mean? Where are we finding the seller? Yeah, where are we finding the seller? If we found the seller and it's in the right spot, fuck it, you know. Throw some shares at it. I have a feeling the market's gonna stink at the open. I still don't see an Andrew in yet. Where are you? Oh my god, I hate that. they're like running, like they made these little chyrons. I don't know if you can see it under Peter, that keep rotating, and it's talking about everybody's performances. Or that they're at the TEDx, everyone's going to be, doing their presentations. And the picture that they decided to use for me is a picture that is literally 5 years old. Like, while I still had hair. It doesn't look anything like me. And then not like, I don't like make a big deal out of like most stuff like this, but also like in the picture, I'm actually wearing a cross. And whoever edited the pictures cut the edges off the cross, so it just looks like I'm wearing some gay little like sorry, wrong it's like some silly little like up and down like long thing, and I'm just like, dude, if you're gonna like do that, please just remove the whole jewelry, please. Like, don't like cut the stink in my cross in like pieces. I'm like, that's crazy. But anyway, I messaged them and sent them a new picture. I'm like, can you please get this changed? Like, so wild.
Hey, Thor, who's Phil?
Phil? I don't know Phil. Phil is I mean, you'd be surprised at how many people I work with who I've never met. But Phil was one of Andrew's. He kind of like added him in, and he does like some techie support kind of stuff on the mostly with like Peak Capital, like helping people with getting like their tech programs put together and stuff like that.
It's Phil Muka.
Huh?
Well, because you have another Phil. You have Phil like Muka, the one he used the cam for option.
Oh. There's been a few people that have been doing that pretty stinking well.
And he did webinar about it, like how you use the Camilla Perfect. He get you, he adopt your system. I think they move his webinar to Trade Terminal.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so how to like he was
Andrew,
like how
Andrew got tired of asking me to like make stuff, so he's just finally like finding other people to do it. I guess that's a good thing.
This was a long time ago, but he traded what's that option? Oh damn!
We just had a seller hit again on the. We fished out that seller a little bit.
Yeah, because a big ask dropped right in. At least on ES it did.
Same with NQ.
Yep.
We went right to R4. What is that? ETH or is that RTH and Ninja? Or is that instrument? Hold on. On ES.
We're still trying to open
It must be without.
at that TPO POC from Thursday. That's
Wow.
fine with me.
Oh, wrong one. Data series. I have it as DOS Equities ETH. That's a good seller. That was good selling with some pretty decent movement attached to it as well. We got 4 minutes till the open. Don't forget news at 9:45 and 10 o'clock. So I'm probably going to be hanging out at the open, waiting, letting things sell into position for hopefully I can pick something up a little lower. I love how on Microsoft I've got monthly S4 from last month, S3, the CP, everything all sitting nice and together. What? Selling. Still, like, every time we sell, we still have more buying than selling as we sell, but we're giving up price as we do it. It's kind of weird. I still feel like the market maker is just offloading into anyone who's willing to buy.
Okay, here we go. See if they can wake up and get it.
45 seconds. Well, let's see. Normally, leading into the open, we'll have eager people start flooding in. Let's see what they start doing. Again, I'm a little high. I'm not high enough for a sell on most things, and I'm not low enough for a buy on most things. So, as of right now, I think my principal idea will be to kind of hang a little bit and wait and see. If we get a nice little, see if we can get down to S3 and get our buy on down here. Maybe try a little cheeky short here. On the market while I wait for everything else to get down to the bottom. That's a lot of selling. Wow.
ఆక్యుపేట్ చేయగలరు మనసు మామూలుగా చేసుకు ఇదే నాకు లాస్ వస్తుందా ఏంది ఇంత లాస్ ఎందుకు వస్తుందా
All right. Selling like hotcakes.
So
Let's
who's
see if this
dragging
thing.
who? ES or NQ leading the way?
ఇక్కడ చూడా
Can't tell.
394. Watch for open mics, folks. Remember, I only like spicy talk on the microphone.
అనగాకు ఆయన
Ooh, big buyer just came in. End up with total volume. This thing is so wacko.
God, I want it to go back up to 21,123. Come on.
We just found a really big seller here on NQ. Wow, Tesla's order book just went really bearish. Or Nvidia's, I mean. Apple went up instead of down. Microsoft hasn't come down enough. Tesla still has more high range to go. I'd like to see Tesla get higher. Not finding anything I like ticker wise. So, ooh, look at that big dip there. Don't forget we're gonna have news in like a little while. That was a failed. That's a IFVG right there. That if this closes lower, we might get ourselves a little sell here. I went ahead and shorted him in Q. At the failure of that fair value gap that stuffed.
I shorted AMD.
Very nice. Oh yeah, very nice. Look at it all over R4.
Okay,
Why
we
did I
need
look
to
at
come
AMD
back
again?
now on NQ at least.
Oh, I don't have it on my whole
51.50.
thing.
Too short, Thor.
Come on now, come on now, come on now. A little more, a little more, a little more. Yeah. Heck yeah. Target hit already. Whee!
Well, me, I hit it in the same, but I got my max loss on my real account. So I've been doing this lately.
So one of the things I often will tell people when I'm working with them is I'll say only to work in one account type. So like if either working live or working sim, the reason why is kind of like that experience can be
No,
very
like for my thing is like I just first time take the same, but like I'm been like lately for 4 days we do the alliances good, but I'm not patient and I keep jumping the trade very quick.
Mm.
And that's what the thing is. And if I wait, I was patient, I would get like 8R and in queue.
So are you using limit orders or are you using market orders when it comes up for your entry?
I use market order.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's not about using the order. Like I'm jumping fast. Like I don't have patience, and we do the analysis good, and I should wait. So, but I don't wait and just jump, and it's triggered my FOMO. I keep in and out in the trade. This has been like having like for 3 days, 4 days now, and I was doing like good for 3 weeks. Like for 3 weeks, I didn't have any red day. But the last 4 days, I just my FOMO keep kicking in.
It's, one of the, it is the, one of the, I actually kind of said this in a couple of the reviews that I did. I make this really like bizarre comparison because I'm country to stock trading to fishing. Right. And what's really funny is generically, like if you go fishing, like stock trading actually really, I don't think is that difficult to teach once you have the time to give someone all the technique and all the very little things. But by the time it's done, obviously stock trading more complicated than maybe just fishing, but fishing technique can be really hard to figure out sometimes. But what happens is like really the technique of fishing is very, very simple. But the difference between a fisherman who is successful and a fisherman who is not is the one that can wait for the appropriate signal to try and set the hook on the fish, right? You got to have the volume, you got to have the hit from the fish to let you know, hey, I'm not pulling my hook on some little tiny fish that I don't even want, right? That I'm setting this thing on a big fish. You know what I mean? So, and that's really why the volume. So, but just kind of keep that in mind, like as you're doing this, it's kind of the same thing. That's what we, now that you understand the technique of the system and how to apply it, right? That's what we're working on now, is basically getting you as good as possible at setting the hook. But if you continue to try and set the hook too early, you're just going to yank it out of the fish's mouth, right? So you gotta let it sit in there, and that's, to be good at this, you gotta get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So if you don't wait for those signals and you don't wait for that opportune moment, you're going to just kind of have that happen. But again, you may want to have the idea of not utilizing sim, only using your live account, because that will mean when you lose those trades, you don't have the ability to now go take them. You just have to stare at them, and then you have to log them, put them in. I would then on the next day load those trades into replay and then rewrite that information in your head. You know what I mean? Right now, you've got two different sets of information, live account and sim account, and you get to parry those back and forth for dopamine, right? So if one doesn't work, the other one works. So you can say, hey, well, live account didn't work, no big deal, but hey, at least I got it right in the long run, and we don't want it, at least I got it right. I want you to hit it on the account. So just kind of consider making sure that you're staying focused on those things and really just giving it that time to find that signal that really lets you know that it's time, that you're getting that big hit, and that's normally the VPA will really lead you into that one.
I see that.
But you got that. I mean, you got this shit, man. Obviously, you've got all the talent and all the intelligence and all the things, because I've seen your trading. I know you can do it. So it's just deep breath. Patience. It'll happen.
It's a patient, and every day, like I come, like I just like jump right away in the trade for no reason. And I know I'm doing wrong, but I keep doing it.
News coming out, by the way. Warning.
Is the book clear yet?
I haven't seen that yet, but I just know it's coming. Let me check the book too. Not a lot. I like Microsoft down here. Made it all the way to S3, hanging out. See if at the news we can get a big dipski down into the buying range. We're still a really long way away on freaking.
I think Andrew should have a tab on the trading terminal, like when the president's tweet coming. That's the news.
For real.
So do you see that?
Put your
crypto
heads
jump?
between your legs and kiss your bud goodbye.
I thought, do you see that crypto jump other day?
Mm-hmm.
That was juicy.
Well, I mean, El Presidente comes out and says, not only do I like crypto, I want all the crypto, and he basically wants to create a crypto Federal Reserve. So
And
he
you
wants
know,
he wants the U.S. to go out and start buying and holding crypto, and I was like, here we go.
and he missed the BTC inside the tweet.
Yeah. And he's like, I have personally divested myself of all crypto holdings, but my son has them. It's
That cracks me up.
like, but my son has them.
It's not me. It's my family, but it's not me.
It's not me. I'm completely divested, but all my kids have them.
Continually.
Video looks like it's trying to buy here.
A lot of buying just came in.
Still just getting a lot of selling on it. Struggling a little
Yeah,
bit.
real nice high volume doji at S4. I was watching that. See if it.
You need a couple, maybe even a couple more tests, but it's starting to pick up a little bit. But when it starts to go to the sell side, it just really starts to accelerate. Amazon had a nice pop up of S3.
I feel like there's a pretty solid amount of volume coming in right now. I didn't see the book, and it's buying. It's on the buy side for sure. Some pretty good buying volume.
Yeah, but we're at VPOC. We pushed up, came back up to VPOC. Oh, we failed the MPH from Thursday. This is the from Wednesday. Here's the Thursday. That's on the ES. Have we hit it yet? We did hit it on that one. Leslie, did you take it at the MPLs at 21,120?
See if they're gonna go. Are they
I'm
gonna hold
hoping
this
she
low
did.
here? Or they're gonna sweep it.
She on? Nope.
I'll be
There
right
she is.
back.
Her mic's open, but I don't hear her.
Look at the cell tower. Oof. Nice.
A lot of volume right there.
Okay, let's see. Did you get it? Did you take it? Yes. Pretty cool stuff, isn't it?
I went short on MNQ and just hit target.
Leslie, did you bring it back to PDC, or are you carrying some across to the MPL of Friday?
Still getting pretty solid selling, but we're holding kind of in this buying area here. If we buy out of here, we could do something. But so far, I don't feel like we have found a buyer.
God, you're a rock star, Leslie.
Ooh, there we go.
So I gotta laugh.
What happened there?
Oh, Leslie's just, we have a,
Leslie, your
direct
new
conversation.
your new buddy.
Oh, it's funny. I'm just laughing at her responses. I'm talking. She can't talk. Her mic's not working right. So she's just direct messaging me. And her responses are funny.
Like, we're still fishing a buyer and we have not found them.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No, we should at NQ. We're either going to find one around 2760 or 2680. And that is under S4. I think so. Yeah. Studies. I don't need that broadcast forward. To yeah. That's so somewhere between S3 and S4 we should bounce. Okay, that makes sense. On NQ, ES.
Well, I'm just happy my NQ worked. So I think ES is fishing a buyer here.
If we do a weak pull on ES up to 59.72, yeah, I'd be all over that short. I've already got my entry from pre-market, so I don't care.
ES still struggling to find a good buyer.
I'm watching. It's now we got single prints because we failed where they thought it would hold.
I think everyone's looking for a bounce, and I think that's exactly what they want.
There's no
We're
large
not low
transactions
enough
going
for a
off.
bounce yet. We're not low enough for a bounce yet on TOS calcs.
Nope.
Like on my calcs, the bounce doesn't come till 59.38 or even 59.20. I like how high MYM is. I might actually short MYM.
So Leslie, single prints are just where nobody's arguing. It's just we push past an area of resistance or support and we just fall through it real fast. There's just not a lot of trading there. And we tend to move through those really, really fast. There's no resistance. And when we moved out of on Friday, the value area high was at 59.12. And then we basically got a squeeze going at 59.20 all the way up to high. We do have a level halfway through, which is at 59.36. And we had a little argument there on Friday.
Yeah, so far, TOS cams are leading the pack.
I don't know. I got a nice short going on AMD after a failed.
I'm not happy I didn't short AMD. I don't know. I
Swept.
didn't
It
have
did
it
that
on my
R4
list.
sweep, and I got in. I got in it. I'm getting close to target. S3 is my target. So
Yeah, I don't know what I did wrong. I had accidentally deleted it somehow off of my list, so I didn't review it and I didn't think about it. And it actually, or maybe because I don't know. Man, I was like, that was a good one too. It looked nice.
yeah, and the video was like it like did like a CPR failure, I guess, and AMD did like a range expansion failure. It tried to push. It just swept the highs from Friday, and then it failed and threw some pretty nice VPA, and I just went ahead and went short. If you can get to S3, I'll be good. Really right above S3.
Jake, where's your target of the AMD?
I went ahead and got short on YM. Well, MYM. Ooh! News, 10 o'clock. Yes! Holy crapola. There we go. Man, I wish I hadn't ran my stop that wide. I was worried about the news coming out.
So whenever
should-
you take a trade like this, I really think you're in the matrix.
I don't even know what drew me to MYM. It was just because it was the only one that was actually like felt good, like with how high it was.
Right.
But the rest of them had sold off, and it was still just sitting there.
My AMD target is at 98.72, and
It wasn't even technically the right play either because I'm at R3, but it's a wide range, and I think we're going to go to S3. So that's really what I was thinking. I think we can go all the way to ATR low. Unless this is a grab.
so I heard these trading futures, they move well too. And they have like a good liquidities.
I like these. The liquidity is great. When these big news events come out, they can be dangerous. You have to be like really careful with them when these big news events come out because there's so much volume and the market makers pull their orders off the book. So you get just a ton of volume. Well, so far so good. I hit my NQ short and from earlier, and then now I'm sitting in this YM short. Let's see what happens. If it finds a buyer here. Again, my toss cams say I have a lot more range to the downside than my like in Ninja right now. I'm already at S3, but in toss.
Yeah, on my DOS stuff, I have everything marked that this is a potential spot we could bounce from on a lot of.
I mean, PDC is here, so this is definitely a place we can bounce from either way on like YM and a lot of these other ones.
Like Amazon is at a spot. It could, like the Qs are now at S3, and it did hit that volume, but that's a pretty big like bullish hammer with a lot of volume at S3. So we'll see if it can reoffer and see what it does, but it may keep selling.
Get ourselves a bounce off of 100 here on AMD. I mean, that wick to S3 was pretty good in DOS.
Yeah, that was my target. When that happened, I saw it like it wicked my target, and now it kind of it's not really.
The problem here, along here, would be just like crazy though, because you would need it to go all the way back to R6 basically in order to get a profit. And I still think the market might head south. So unfortunately, I think I might just do futures today and just be done. I'm glad you got that R4 short on AMD is the trade. And the thing is, the target on an R4 short for me is S4. You know what I mean? So I get that it's a higher range, but we came off of R4. So I'm running edge to edge. You know what I mean? I'm not really thinking about, if we were going to buy S3, we would have went to S3 first, not went to R4 first. We went and swept the sell side. Right now we're offering to the buy side. Ooh, look how weak that push was afterwards too. By no means does that buy offering mean we're going to rally from here. I mean, if anything, our new month just has us mid-range now. Our new buying range is way down at $93.
Yeah, and the book on AMD and NVIDIA I mean, AMD's a little bit more balanced, but NVIDIA's it's got perfect orders down to 115, which I think is it's a little past its ATR, but it could definitely go explore sweep the lows of Friday. That's down there by S6. It could do that.
ठीक है चलो अब 5-4 दिन इकट्ठा कर लेने 5-4 दिन ओके कर लेंगे हाँ जी चलो हाँ थोड़ा ठीक है नाले क्या ही है हाँ ठीक है और बच्चे हुणे उठे ने मम्मी ने गुरमन ने अदर नवाया है कपड़े पाउना फिरदा है उन्होंने बीबी आ बैठा है
ਮੈਂ ਜ਼ਬਰਦਸਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ
ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੀ ਮੈਂ ਪ੍ਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜੀ
ਮੈਂ ਬੋਲਦੀ ਵੀ ਕਾਫ ਮੇਰਾ
ਹੋਰ ਇਹ ਬਸ ਫਿਰ ਕੰਮ ਚੱਲੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ
ਤੇ ਰਾਤ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਸਵੇ
ਗਰਮਨ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਰਾਤ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੇ ਸਵੇਰ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਨਾ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਨਾ ਜੋ ਚਾਚਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਇਟਲੀ ਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬੜਾ ਔਖਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਉਹ ਅੱਧੀ ਰਾਤ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਉੱਠਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਉਹ ਬੜਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਦਾ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਲਾਉਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਦੋ ਟਾਈਮ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਇੱਕ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੀ ਬਣਦਾ 24 ਘੰਟਿਆਂ ਚੋਂ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ 12 ਘੰਟੇ ਦਾ ਪੂਰਾ ਫਰਕ ਪੈ ਜਾਂਦਾ
ਬੰਦੇ ਰਾਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉੱਥੇ 12 ਵਜੇ ਉੱਥੇ 12 ਵਜੇ